Did you see the parade of angry white men chanting, "White man, fight back! White man, fight back!" It's extremely alarming to hear, but I'm more so confused. My brother in Christ, for people that look like us to the outside world, it appears that we run and own everything. So most people are curious, who are you fighting back against? And not only that, if you're talking about Charlie Kirk, if you're talking about most mass and school shooters, they're people that look like us. They're white people. So I'm genuinely confused when you're out there on the street with your tiki torches and you're yelling, "White man, fight back!" What? Who? Who are you being oppressed by? Ourselves? We need to be fighting ourselves? I'm curious, and not to mention, after the third or fourth time saying, "White men, fight back," don't you just naturally want to get quiet and just be like, oh, maybe white men should be fighting back against our own, against fellow people that look like us. We can stand up for injustices, absolutely, but to think that white men are the ones being oppressed, hard to gain an audience on that platform, my guy.
So I read dude's dad sold them out for 100 bands. Crazy. That's wicked. But also, the protest yesterday. White men fight back. Does that change now to white Republicans fight back against the Democrats, or does the message still stand? Because before we even knew who really committed the crime, you guys were calling for a race war, are calling for a race war. So does that change at all now that we know that it was white on white crime, or is it just like, you know, because it's getting spooky and like, you know? So, I mean, I'm just curious.
You just said that you didn't talk to her.
So because I did a post about this Charlie Kirk person, I'm getting a lot of that in my feed. And every quote I hear, what a horrible human being. I mean, again and again and again. And don't defend the free speech bullshit. There are consequences for what people say. But it seems they found the shooter. And despite the fact that, you know, the president and everyone are going after the extreme radical left, it was another white dude. Because the shootings are always white dudes. Not trans people, not immigrants, angry white dudes that have access to guns. I mean, really, honestly, what else can you say? It's just absolutely nuts.
Hi beautiful people, how you all doing? Welcome back again to my channel. In case I just see my face for the first time, hi, my name is Olivia, and to my amazing subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys for your support. All right, so guys, we've been seeing a lot of white dukes, you know, protesting, shouting, "White men fight back," right? Good. Now, who are you fighting against? Who exactly are you guys fighting against? You guys are fighting against yourself, because the last time we checked, the shooter who pew pew Charlie was a white dude. He wasn't a black man. Yeah, he was a white dude. And recently, a lot of shooting, you know, is coming from white dudes, not black people. This is white on white crime. Okay, you know, when is a black dude, the whole internet will explode, right? Stereotypes will fly and communities get blamed. But now is a white dude. Yes, what do you have to say about it? Okay, so the internet is actually like, you know, on fire right now. People are like saying a lot of things about this child as if it's a matter. Like, I don't know. So let's keep watching, guys, to see what people actually have to say about this white on white crime. And please drop your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and support the channel by subscribing to the channel. So let's keep watching, family.
Said if the guy that chose Charlie was black, he would have seen. I mean, if there was a black person that just did that, there would have been a full-on race war in the streets right now. I mean, it's in Utah. Utah has a population of 2% for black people. So, as fucked up as it is, this was white on white crime, right?
Excuse my voice because I'm sick, but this whole Charlie Kirk thing, like, these white boys are killing me. Why do I keep seeing there's a protest talking about some white men fight back, and then I just see it up there on Twitter, It's like, man, we were having a protest, White Lives Matter. We didn't kill the nigga. The white man killed him. What's going on? These things would make sense if it was black on white crime. This is white on white crime. We have nothing to do with this. What's going on? You just want to, you have, oh my, white people never cease to amaze me. What does this have to do with us? This is your fight on your own people. What the fuck?
Can we stop, for once, at least, maybe in our nation's history, stop trying to blame white on white crime on black people? Can we stop it for once, at least, please? Like, we all knew when Charlie Kirk was killed. We knew who this was going to be. We knew who the suspect was going to be, a young white man. We knew it. And yet, some people tried to spin this to say it was something else. And now threats are being lobbied against black students at universities. Black HBCUs are being threatened to be blown up. I think 4 of them had to shut down yesterday and today because they had to deal with bomb threats. It was never them. It's never been the black community. We always blame anybody else but ourselves. But the call is coming from inside the house. We are the problem. White on white crime, we are the problem. We have always been the problem. So let's, for once, stop trying to blame somebody else and look inward and try to address the actual problems that we are the ones creating upon ourselves. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a great day in history.
So first we had the Robin Westman incident in Minnesota with unloading on a Catholic school church. And just a couple hours ago, we just had Charlie Kirk get on the live during his speech at the University of Utah. And we may not know who the suspect is for the Charlie Kirk unaliving, but what we do know is, out in Utah, there's not a lot of folks who look like me. Honestly, I think we made a mistake. I think we might have deployed the National Guard into the wrong communities. Maybe we should deploy them into these white suburban communities. They look like they need it more than us. What y'all think? These white on white crimes are just getting out of hand.
So now that we see who finally got caught in that shooting, I really hope people look within their own communities and start realizing that you have a serious problem and stop trying to blame others. You need to start looking into your house instead of coming into other people's homes and saying that we caused something that we didn't.
As a white man of European descent, I thought I'd get on here and say what needs to be said. The white on white crime has to stop. Since Fox News and Republican pundits love to talk about black on black crime all the time, I think it's worth noting that the majority of mass shootings are committed by white men. And the majority of victims of those shootings are white people, mainly white children. Actually, the majority of perpetrators of crimes in this country are white men. So, since one party, the Republican Party, likes to make everything about race and broadcast every time a black person commits a crime or a brown person commits a crime or an immigrant commits a crime, I think it's worth noting again that today we found out the shooter of Charlie Kirk, a white man, was Tyler Robinson, another white man. We've got a real white on white problem in this country, and we need to fix the white on white crime.
My woke take of the day, and maybe this is just a bit too woke for what's happening right now. But guys, when you're alive, fight for human rights. Fight for people who don't look like you. Don't make an entire ideology, an entire platform on harming trans people, queer people, black people, people of color, victims of genocide. Don't do that. Don't spend your life spreading hate, because I feel like that will go back on you, right? Like, did we not all grow up with those cartoons where the bullies got their ass beat at the end of the day? Because I grew up with my mom saying, don't be mean to others because there's someone crazier than you who will go back on you. I'm like, yeah, you got that. Bet. Be kind to everybody. You'll get kindness back. The idea of somebody who actively would have wanted me, like, mind you, homeboy dropped out of community college. I have a master's. He called black women unqualified. Hello? He called black women getting hired a DI. Hello? Black women are highly educated. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Me being a black immigrant queer woman with 2 college degrees. Why? And he actively did not like people who looked like me. Is killing people wrong? Absolutely. Do you get what you put out in the world? There's power in the tongue? When you say, hey, it's okay to have some sacrifices for gun violence, for everybody to have a Second Amendment, sure. If you also get assassinated on a college campus when you actually dropped out of college, the same day 2 to 3 children in Colorado get shot and are victims. No, they're still alive, but they got really harmed at a school shooting. Look at that. When there's ICE raids going around for immigrants across the country. Look at that. It's like the word of the day is irony. The word of the week is irony. Very ironic. Very, very ironic. And it's just crazy. Like, people say, oh, it's not political. Politics affects human lives. What are we talking about? Guys, what are we talking about? Politics actually affects people's lives. Your political beliefs are human lives we're talking about. And those will always go back on you if you don't fight for other people. But that's just my woke take of the day.
The reason you see all these white liberal content creators on this app talking about humanity and crying and stuff like that because of Charlie Kirk died isn't because of humanity. It ain't that. The reason they upset, yelling humanity and crying and breaking down, growing on the grand moral high ground because he gone is the same reason. It's the very same reason that God won't kill the devil. It's the very same reason that God let the devil exist. And that's because without the devil, he would lose a lot of his following without the threat of hell and the devil. They're upset because their devil died. And that's the truth of it. I don't care what moral grandstanding and stuff like they doing like this online and all over the place. I see right between the lines, declaring that their idea of themselves being white savior gods, they'll lose a lot of their following once the devil dies. America is at war and has been at war for some time, okay? Been under coup, everything, and you're at war. And you're not witnessing political violence. What you're witnessing is soldiers shoot on a literal battlefield. And them shooters are shooting straight, not gay. Because wasn't nothing liberal about that shot. It was straight. And there's only one side of the aisle that has experience and love their gun so much to be out in the range every fucking day, every fucking hour to get this shot right. Up and down, love it to hell. To hell. Okay, so that's why you see them on here. Oh my God, and how could you laugh and how could you be? Y'all been yelling these people are Nazis for years. How you look at somebody and say you're a white supremacist, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, and then cry when they die? It's either you're being performative, you don't actually believe that these people are Nazis, you don't believe that they're white supremacists, you don't believe any of that shit. You're just saying it to be what, hyperbolic? You know what? It's not hyperbolic for the marginalized communities that they actually cause violence to. With their rhetoric, that actually informs policy. And that policy is indeed violence upon marginalized people. Cost them their lives. And that's why the right be talking shit on y'all liberals and the left. And it's because they know y'all not for real. They know y'all not being truthful. They know you're not true to this. You're not true to this. And they are. They believe the shit they say. They believe it wholeheartedly. They are fully invested in their hate. They looking at y'all don't believe what you say. Y'all don't believe these people are actually dangerous. You don't believe that they're Nazis. You don't believe none of that shit. You're just saying it. No fascists, no white supremacists, no Nazi, nothing. And that's why they'll have the upper hand, because they actually believe the shit that they say. And y'all don't. Y'all crying on the internet after yelling that somebody is a fascist, after yelling they're dangerous. So you mad and upset that the danger is dead? Make that make sense. You can't. Because explain to me how you cry when the so-called you say Nazi die. Okay, goodbye.
Back, white man, fight back! 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 White man, fight back!
Radicals on the right as well. We have radicals on the left. People are watching all of these videos and cheering. Some people are cheering that Charlie was killed. How do we fix this country? How do we come back together?
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. They don't want to see crime.
Worried about the border.
They're saying, we don't want these people coming in. We don't want you burning our shopping centers. We don't want you shooting our people in the middle of the street. The radicals on the left are the problem. And they're vicious, and they're horrible, and they're politically savvy. Although they want men and women sports, they want transgender for everyone, they want open borders.
All right, so let's get a few things straight. He was an independent, the shooter. He was an independent. He voted for Trump. His whole family was conservatives. His mom and his dad are Republicans. They also voted for Trump as well as the shooter. The shooter himself ended up voting for Trump. Unlike what Nancy Mace ended up saying, he wasn't trans. He wasn't a part of that whole community. Yeah, so their narrative did not age well at all. Did not age well at all. Dude just had hate in his heart. That's it. He did not like what Charlie Kirk ended up saying, and as I've already indicated, you guys, I didn't agree with anything that Charlie Kirk ended up saying. Maybe one or two things that he ended up saying, but no, most of the stuff that came out of that guy's mouth, not at all. Not at all. But still did not give him the right to take that man's life. So now, let the courts decide. Plain and simple. Pretty sure people are going to be watching it, you know. Not sure if they're going to televise it or not, but, you know, time for the courts to handle the system. They got the dude, didn't off himself, sitting in jail. His own father turned him in. Let me know your thoughts.
White man, fight back! White man, fight back! White man, fight back! White man!
I hate to state the obvious, but you didn't get that birthday subscription canceled by one of us.